Well, get ready to look up at the sky and see drones hovering up above. As of now, unmanned aircraft can only be used in military airspace and by certain law enforcement agencies. But this week, Congress passed a bill that would allow for commercial and private use of drones. So what this would do is let any person or company that gets a permit to fly drones wherever and however they please. And these aircraft typically carry surveillance equipment, even weapons in some cases. So what does this mean for your privacy and safety? Joining me now to talk about the implications of this bill, host of the Alex Jones Show, Alex Jones. Hi, Alex. So this bill just passed by Congress would open up our skies for almost anyone to fly drones. What does this mean for the average citizen's privacy?
Well, Liz, thanks for having me. This is a nightmare. It's the military-industrial complex not just trampling on our privacy with ground-penetrating radar and infrared looking through our walls. It's been going on for decades. Now it's going to be unmanned. So if the pilots, say no to a mission that's illegal, it won't matter because many of these drones now, as reported by the LA Times, are autonomous. They're artificially intelligent. They're given their mission. They've got tiny drones that fly in formation, that are weaponized and have surveillance. They also have Reapers that are weaponized, and of course, they have the Predators. Just a month ago, I was on RT. In North Dakota, the Air Force was involved with local police surveilling purported cattle thieves who'd actually just kept cows that had come on their property. Under common law, you can actually keep cows that come on your property. I have a ranch. My family does. I know the law. But they didn't care. They acted like, oh, the military's involved surveilling citizens. So this is the military-industrial complex basically taxing the public and then using that money to build up a military infrastructure against the population, exactly what President Dwight D. Eisenhower warned about in his farewell speech back in 1961. Beware the military-industrial complex and the, quote, technocratic elite that controls us. That's the full quote. In Rome, it was the military used by Caesar internally that took over. In Nazi Germany, in Napoleon's France, this is always the danger in third world countries today and in ancient nations. This is classic. And these politicians in a revolving door are invested in these drone companies, the body scanning companies, all of it, and they're getting incredibly rich off of setting up surveillance and weapon systems against the people. I mean, this is really frightening.
Now, as you mentioned, it's the military as of now that has been using these drones, but this new bill would allow companies to use the aircraft. How do you expect companies, especially big companies, think Google and companies like that, to use this technology?
Well, that's the problem. Because of technology getting so inexpensive and robotics and factories, what would cost $10 million a decade ago cost $100,000. And things are going to get cheaper and cheaper. And these big mega companies like Google, that's already operating in 14 states. Just a couple years ago, it was one state with robot 18-wheeler trucks, robot cars. And when they wreck, it's all swept under the rug because the system wants to go to this. And they're openly arguing that they're going to prove that robot cars and aircraft are more safe on average and force people to have robot cars, force people out of the 18-wheelers. So this is about humans having our rights taken and these big mega corporations and the military operating these drones. They're also not just having air drones. The Pentagon said in 2000 that by 2012, they wanted half the Air Force to be drone and half of the Army's air assets to be drone, as well as the Navy. Now they're saying by 2020, 90+% will be drone, and half the ground force will be combat robot. And again, this is where an 18-wheeler pulls up. I've seen the company show it, pulls up in front of your house. A bunch of robots get out the back on treads, come up to your home and basically attack you. This is what taxpayers in America are paying for, is a literal Terminator type scenario. But Skynet doesn't work for artificially intelligent, master computer. It works for the corrupt global elite who, again, are making money out of building weapon systems and using them against us. It is incredible. Look, I've had family who's in the military for years who've told me about how they fly around on anti-drug missions using the U.S. Army. And now that's all admitted here domestically. So this is just the robots knocking down the door, and it's completely unconstitutional. It's dangerous, and we're going to rue the day that this happened. All over the world under the NDAA, they're saying we won't just arrest and kill citizens in the U.S. with no trial and have them disappear. Drones will kill people in any country in the world. So it's a global declaration of war against the entire planet. And again, it's not America doing it. It's the big mega banks that openly are conquering Europe through fraud and Ponzi schemes and derivatives, that have conquered the United States and own the military-industrial complex. No one is standing in their way. No one, they're trying to start wars in Syria. They've already given al-Qaeda control of Libya. They're getting ready for war with Iran. They've got drones all over the planet, 70,000 of them. I mean, this is literally like Attack of the Clones or something out of a Star Wars movie.
Wow.
I mean, this is out of control.
This certainly sounds very scary, what you're suggesting here. Also want to talk about the safety concerns of this bill. Drones, they can carry weapons, as we mentioned earlier, and also the safety of having these things fly around in our airspace. I mean, technology is not fail-proof. The possibility of drones crashing into houses and other planes. I mean, this seems to pose several safety concerns.
Well, and they've already done perspectives on this. The big insurance companies have done actuaries and have broken all this down, and they've said, well, the answer is have all the aircraft and all the cars into a central computer that basically warns the other drones. So the answer is going to be, when there's disasters, is get humans out of the cockpits, get humans out of the driver's seats of the cars, and make everybody go to robots. And then a centralized elite, in their own words, will control this technocracy. I've been calling them technocrats and a scientific dictatorship for 17 years. Now suddenly the elite are saying we want a technocracy for the world. No more elected governments. Experts will run things. I wasn't guessing that they were technocrats. I read white papers written 50 years ago where the big think tank experts in Britain and the United States said we'll use the wealth of these countries in Europe to build this technocracy to dominate the globe, but we've got to stay on the cutting edge of technology. So it's not America and England dominating the world. It's these criminal interests, these scientific dictators who are very intelligent, who have now used us as the launching pad for basically the robot wars that are coming. So get ready, folks, because before military could say no to crimes, there won't be military soon. There'll be robots working on robots that deploy the combat robots.
Alex, very scary but interesting points that you raised there, that this could be just the beginning, that this is beyond drones and what this could potentially lead to. That was Alex Jones, host
One last
of the
point,
Alex Jones Show.
drones. They've announced 30,000 drones, Associated Press, to be in the sky. 30,000, a $63 billion funding system, half of it in the new FAA bill to fund this. God bless you. I just had to.
Alex, thank you. We'll talk more about this another time.